Knowledge is the platform for document creation, management, and search. It redefines the way we create documents in an enterprise by associating a structure with them, and does in process offering very powerful data mining and search capabilities. Process flow on knowledge is to be first create and define document categories as per internal enterprise processes and data requirements. Defining a category on knowledge platform essentially means to design a rich document template using the patent pending knowledge designer interface for that category documents. Using our designer interface, we can design feature-rich and visually rich templates, which we'll see in a very short time how. As a second step, instead of users creating random, incomplete, and non-standard documents at will in enterprise, documents will be created as per enterprise processes, which are embodied as category templates, created in step 1. This not only standardizes document generation as per enterprise internal processes, but also simplifies and speeds up document generation. Following the above two very simple steps, a knowledge platform creates tremendous knowledge capital for enterprise. Through its advanced search interface, knowledge provides kaleidoscopic view of documents data. Search interface is in fact so powerful that we can easily say that if you can imagine a search pattern, you can easily search it on knowledge. And as a natural consequence of above, knowledge platform boosts information reuse, minimizes redundant work, and shortens project time cycles. Let us log on to system to know further in detail about it. We'll give a bit of overview about all the screens and functionalities. So this of course is the home screen, which here we list all the quick links to all the functionalities. This of course is a very basic list, and there are lots and lots to be added still into it. This is the system document screen, which basically lists all the enterprise wide categories and corresponding documents. Clicking these are the different categories, and clicking on it gives us all the different documents which have been created based on those categories. We can create a document from here. Now as we'll see, the document follows an inherent structure, and that's what the strong point of knowledge, but we will talk about it later. Coming to my documents, it's pretty much similar to system document, but there is a personal area, personal workspace, which has been assigned to every user. User can create and try templates before adding them for enterprise wide usage. This is the search interface for searching within system and personal documents. Well, we can choose here all the categories whether we want to search in the system categories or personal categories. For example, choosing system gives us all the categories which have been created in system. Choosing a marketing plan, it just lists all the complete structure of that category, and we can create very sophisticated search queries. And we can create very high-end and incisive search expressions to get to know exactly what we are looking for. But more on that later. Coming on to administration. Administration is basically the area to administer various other lateral features, like we can create users, manage users, creating groups, categories where we will administer categories, the permissions to categories, who have created it, and assigning whether we want to have the category as public, whether we want to have it private, who all can read it, who all can write documents, and all. But firstly, let's come back to my document screen to concentrate more on creating a new category. So let us create a new category. So we choose create new category on my document screen. That opens a new designer window. So this is a designer window where we create any kind of complex or sophisticated document template. There's lots and lots of features and functionalities packed into this screen just to enable a very rich and detailed template creation. Let's go through all the windows on this interface one by one. This is the document structure window. In this window, we create a structure of the document. For example, a document might have 5 or 6 elements in it. It might have the name, it might have a table in it, it might have some figures in it. So here we create the complete structure. Through the right click menu, we can create any kind of complex structure. Now coming to the data properties window, we did create the structure in the above window here, but what about that? What about the properties of those elements? For example, element 1, what is it? I mean, we want it to be a text, we want to be a rich text, we want to be a table, we want to be an image. So this is what data properties is. So we firstly think what is the structure of the document we want to create. Here we create the structure, and here we associate the data properties with it. And the window on the right hand side, this is a visual properties window. So, okay, so we created a structure on the right, using the document structure window and the data properties window. But how do that structure look like on the document? We just don't want it to be a plain black text on the white background. We want to be a color. We want to have some other property. We want to have proper indentation. We want to have borders to various elements. We want to have a specific text color for a specific element. All of this thing is done by the visual element window on the right hand side. So the best way to understand is to create a basic hello world template, and for that we'll now create a very basic template for, say, a lab experiment. So firstly, let's think what will be the elements of a lab experiment template. So first thing will be experiment name. Okay, experiment name I don't want to be of rich text type, which means that in the document I can insert images and tables and rich text. So basically I put it as plain simple text. Okay, as a next step I want to have an objective defined to the experiment, so I name it as objective, and I want to be rich text. So basically so that document creator feel free to add any kind of rich element into it. Then I want to add the procedure to it, the procedure of the experiment. Well, the procedure will have some sub elements, like the first thing might be a table which details the steps, and the steps will be a table, so we'll create the necessary structure. So the first thing will be the step number and step description, and we assign table named step as a type table. Okay, so now we also want to have a diagram associated with it, so we'll add another element below this which we'll name as diagram or experiment diagram, depends on whatever we want to call it. We then make it of type resource, which presently means an image, but there is a lot of possibility to extend to various other data types. Then after procedure we add another element which says results of the experiment. Then we have the conclusion, let's say. Of course, I'm just drawing what is coming to my mind, but it's basically a very simple template which might communicate exactly what is a way of creating a template. Then we have discussions, and I will say the last thing as conclusion. Okay, so we have created a very basic template. Now what to do? Now we have created a structure. Let's click populate template. Wow, so we have the complete template made on our document. We see we have all the experiments and we have all the headings given to the various elements already. Now we don't want it to be a very plain looking document, we want to add some color and life to it. So in case we want, so let's say we gave a background color of, say, this. Okay, and since it's experiment name, I want to be in the bold, so I gave it's bold. I want to be bigger size, I give it size this. Okay, I can just change the headings if I want here. And now this is objective. Let's say I want objective to be of a particular other background. I'm just messing with it just to communicate what are the possibilities. So I create the background like this, and again the text color I want to be of this, and this is a table. Again, table I want to be of some other color, whatever. So basically here we let's stop it there. Otherwise we can have other properties. For example, just to show, we can have a border. I can say in the conclusion I want to define it as some border to it of this size and this color. Okay, so let's stop at that. And so we have a template. And let's save it. So I'll give a name of say lab experiment. And it's mandatory to enter description, because otherwise things might not be that explanatory as they should be. So we'll say document for lab experiments, and I create. So now our template is created. Great. So now I go to documents and I refresh it. So I have this template, but we don't have any documents on this template. We just create a template. So let's create a few documents on it. So I say create new document of lab experiment, and well, so you see now the document which I get is pre-formatted and pre-structured as per the structure which I made in the template, and there is no scope of meddling with it. You just cannot change the things, and that is a beauty. I mean, you cannot really just mess around with it and create anything out from mind. So the document creator have to enter data as per the predetermined structure and following the formatting. Of course, he has full freedom to enter as much or as any kind of data inside the elements. So here I can insert images, here I can insert tables. So all those things are there, but the whole document as such will be following a structure. So let's say I enter some data and I saved it, a document, and say experiment 1. Report. Great. So I refresh it. So now I have this new document. I can edit, I can view it, and of course I can delete it. So this is the way, I mean, how we create a template and how we create documents on it. Okay, so here we have created a real company template. Let's see the IC design, which is a template which has been created for IC design company. This follows a real structure as followed in most of the IC design companies, and of course it can vary a bit here and there and can be customized as per company processes or data requirement. But in general, for our example sake, this is the template we have created in Designer. So as we can see, we have all these elements which are generally part of most of the IC design template. We have IC design, general description, applications, features. Then we have this order information table, which is a standard of the company of which we created this template. Typical operating circuit, absolute maximum ratings, DC electrical characteristic, which have a text area which has got this standard table structure, and then we have typical operating characteristics. So basically it follows the standard structure of the document which are created in that particular IC design company. So now the template is ready for IC design documents, and any employee who wants to create a document for IC specification or design, instead of he creating elements and document structure out of his mind, he will just click this create new document of IC design, and he will have a pre-structured and pre-formatted document already in front of him. It really saves, it's a time saver. I mean, employee don't have to think what all features, what all details and what all data have to be added to the document. It's already there, and there's no any extra effort for formatting also. I mean, whatever, for example, this is an element, it is required in bold, it's already there. So basically a document template can be created to suit a company formatting specifications also. That is, if company want a background in some particular color, if they want a logo here, all those things can be done. So let us fill some mock data just for demonstration. So this is let's see, I name it as IC Max 2769. I'll fill up some general description, I fill up some features, for example. I'm just filling the real data from the real document. So like one of the features, GPS receivers. Another feature they say is having crystal oscillator, and for example in ordering information I can say they have, so this is a table, it's Max 2769 ETI. The temperature range goes from -40 to plus 85 degrees centigrade, something like that, and a typical operating circuit. So I go And okay, so basically this is the way. I mean, we have specified the structure, and document creator already have everything preset, and he just need to go and fill up all the data. It saves time, and of course this system is so beautifully set up that he cannot mess up with it. It will follow that structure. I can't delete this element from here, however much I try. So here we can see the list of 4 different documents which we created over the IC design template what we created just some time back. Let's see one of the documents which has been created over the template. So as we will see, it follows exactly the same structure and the same formatting standard which has been set in the template. Let's see another document. Yeah, so basically these are all different documents which follow the same template, and thus they all follow the same structure and formatting standard which has been set in that template defined by the enterprise. But what is the end purpose of all this? Of course, we have simplified and standardized the document creation process, but it's the benefit which you derive out of this exercise. And that exactly is what we're talking about through search interface. Well, this is arguably the world's most advanced search interface for searching into documents. It gives us the max flexibility and a very intuitive interface for getting incisive insights into the document data. Let's continue this IC design template what we created last time, and the documents we created. So this window on the left hand side, it basically shows the structure which we got after we pinpointed exactly the document category we want to search in. Here we can choose the personal categories or the system categories. We chose the personal category, so we have all these categories we have created for ourselves, and IC design is the one we are looking at. So we chose it, and this is the structure. Now through these 2 windows, that is search query builder and search results list, we build very sharp and incisive search expressions. Let's start doing that. For example, I want to see all the features, the IC name and the features of all the ICs which have been created in my company. Great. So we see, instead of getting the full documents, we got the IC name and the feature sets from all the 4 documents. Well, this is a very big, very powerful and very helpful feature. Instead of getting the full document, we get only the part we have specified in the search results list here. And for example, we want to have the pen description of all the ICs. Yeah. So here we got all the pen description of various ICs. So clicking on that here will takes you to that particular element. So this gives a lot of power, I mean, we can, right now it's only 4 documents, but just imagine there are hundreds of documents, and we are interested only in one particular feature. We want to have a look at one particular feature. So basically we can list all those here. For example, we want to have the ordering information table, and we want to have, for example, the layout issues. I just want to see all the layout issues which my company has been facing. So here it is. I just get the layout issues for all the various ICs. Well, this has been just about listing, but now I'm not satisfied with listing. I want to search data as per my specific search criteria. I want to specify search criteria. So we click here, build query, and let's take the example that I want to have all the ICs which have a crystal oscillator in their features. So features, crystal oscillator. So basically I'm searching for all the ICs which have crystal oscillator in their features. I say search, and we see that we have only 2 ICs, the MAX 2739 and MAX 2839A. which has got crystal oscillator in the features. We can actually check that. So let's do features. So this is the here and this is here. Now let's do some more search. I want all the ICs which can be used in GPS systems. So I will just choose this applications, and I say give me all the ICs which have GPS as one of their applications. So only one IC, that is MAX 2769. Well, then I want to see all the layout issues of ICs which are used in LCD displays. So I want to see all the layout issues from all the ICs which have been used in LCDs. So only one IC have been, which is there, DS1091, which is used in LCDs, and this is the layout issue in that IC. Now let's extend our query. I want all the layout issues from IC which have been used in LCD displays or in printers. Okay, sorry, we have to choose application. Again, so this is the only IC which can be used in LCD or printer. Now we want the IC which can be used both in LCD and printers. So this is the case. This is the only IC in that case. Okay, now I want to see. There is no end to it. There is, I mean, if you have any kind of query in your mind, you want to search X, Y, Z of these elements, which depends on the A, B, C variables of some other elements. You can, if you can think it, you can create it here. Let's create another expression where we want to see the electrical characteristics. These are the electrical characteristics of ICs. For all the ICs which are used either in cameras, so basically we are talking about applications, camera, or let's say laptop. Now I want to extend it. I want to see all the electrical characteristics of the IC which are used either in cameras or laptops, and they do support a low power mode. Okay, so I do it like this. Camera and feature, they support a low power mode. So we have this one IC MAX 279, which specifies it can be used in camera, it can be used either in laptop, and it does support a low power mode. So as you can see, there is no limit to it. Just by simply creating documents based on the templates, we have so much power and insights into the data which is there in the documents.